as evil was looking at the natural resources, right? I guess just like everybody, he just went around to feed himself, right? With the divine, from the divine filters from men, right? And somehow creating an environment of making the man fall in love with the way he was approaching the man. Eventually, Adam was losing the battle of just doing his work, right? Because everything takes from just sensing or watching or just paying attention to little details that are happening around, right? And that's how this evil catch up with his eye, right? That's how his job, right? His activities were a little bit diminished, right? Because he was paying attention to distractions, right? Just like everything. And that's how the bad journey started. When the Lord saw that it was not good for the man to be alone, he cloned Eve, right? And it was the same thing like him, right? When the man saw that evil Eve, right, it was somebody to work with, somebody to pay attention to, for providing training, right? Because the Lord trained Adam in the work, and as Adam was already trained, right? Whatever Adam was doing, it was what Eve was working also, right? So this way, right, the man win the battle against evil, right? And that's how the victory came in with these two individuals, right? In the Adam. And so this way, we can say that there was a victory over evil when Adam was not paying attention to evil, right? And that's how the women beat up the evil in the head, right? And that's how the evil was destroyed. And it says that it was the clone, right? The woman who eventually used, right, all her power, right, in order to beat up the serpent, right? And it doesn't say that it was the man, because he was already crippled. Adam was already detached from his original body, right? And so it was the clone, which was an image, right, of the Lord, right? Also, because the Lord created only one man according to the Holy Scriptures, right? So the women win over evil, right? And brought the man into a peaceable waters, into a peace with the Lord, and they were okay for a while. But as all these creatures, right, and it seems to me that it wasn't just not only one body, but it was a body made of so many beings, right? so that they were not able to really sense everything that it was around. But if they were just obeying the Lord by just not walking around or hanging around, right, the place where they don't supposed to be, it would be okay. But only God knows, right, what it happens to the clone, which was Eve, and whatever that it was happening to Adam, right? But since then, the Lord started creating, right, an opportunity for assessments, right? Because everything was already set, right? And so the men and the women were helped by the Lord, right? And they were treated with a lot of importance also, right? In regards of the things that they're supposed to be grown in their lives, right? As they were not in the garden anymore.